Hello and a very warm welcome to Meghan and Harry new YouTube channel. Harry is in court giving evidence in regards to his case against the toxic tabloid media and has made comments about Piers Morgan and his barrage of media attacks on them over the last 3 years. It states that the Duke of Sussex is to give evidence in court in his case against the Daily Mirror's publisher over alleged unlawful information gathering on Tuesday. On Monday, Harry's individual case against Mirror Group newspapers, MGN, began at the High Court. Barrister David Sherborne claimed the Duke was subjected to unlawful information gathering right from when he was a young boy at school into adulthood, adding nothing was sacrosanct or out of bounds. And today, Harry singled out broadcaster Piers Morgan in the High Court while giving evidence in his case against the Daily Mirror's publisher. This is the same Piers Morgan who goes to lunch with Camilla, Beatrice and Eugenie. Harry also said Rishi Sunak's government was at rock bottom and claimed the tabloid press contributed to his breakup with ex-girlfriend Chelsea Davy. It is thought to be the first time a senior member of the royal family has personally appeared in court proceedings since 2002, when the Princess Royal pleaded guilty to a charge under the Dangerous Dog Acts after her pet bit 2 children in Windsor Great Park. Harry said Piers Morgan subjected him and his wife, Meghan, to a barrage of horrific personal attacks and intimidation as a result of the legal claim against Mirror Group newspapers MGN, the High Court has heard. Harry also alleged Mr. Morgan had been intimidating him and his wife since he launched legal proceedings against the publisher of the Mirror newspaper. In his witness statement, Harry said, "Unfortunately, as a consequence of me bringing my Mirror Group claim, both myself and my wife have been subjected to a barrage of horrific personal attacks and intimidation from Piers Morgan, who was the editor of the Daily Mirror between 1995 and 2004, presumably in retaliation and in the hope that I will back down before being able to hold him properly accountable for his unlawful activity towards both me and my mother during his editorship." In a separate section of his witness statement, Harry added that the thought of Mr. Morgan and Mirror journalists earwigging into his mother's private messages made him physically sick. Another significant part of the court case so far was the mention of the palace cooperating with media. In this court extract, it states, "The court has now turned to the Duke's allegations that the palace sometimes cooperated with the press on stories about him, as written in his memoir. Mr. Green brought up the editor of Britain's biggest tabloid, the now defunct News of the World, and its former editor, Rebecca Brooks, calling the then Prince of Wales about his son's drug-taking and allegedly negotiating with him." Mr. Green is reading from the Duke of Sussex's memoir, Spare, about the incident, which states that the palace cooperated with the story and Mark Boland, the spin doctor, decided to spin the Duke right under the bus. "I'm not entirely sure it was agreed by the palace, but I know that this was his approach. I have no idea who was involved in that other than himself," the Duke tells the court. Mr. Green asks if the palace sometimes cooperated with the press, without your consent or knowledge on stories, to which the Duke agrees, but adds, "I refer to just 2 occasions in my book." "This story would have been a red flag to a bull," he said, saying the Sunday Mirror could have done everything they could to further this story. Harry's witness statement also spoke about how the media contributed for his breakup with Chelsea Davy. In his statement, Harry repeatedly referred to his former romantic relationship with Chelsea Davy, which ran on and off from 2004 to 2010. In one instance, Harry said he believes the couple's holiday to Mozambique was disrupted after journalists from MGN and other tabloids blagged the couple's flight details and hotel bookings by intercepting voicemail. He said the press flew out and booked into a hotel in the African country before we got there. We were never on our own and able to enjoy each other's company away from the prying eyes of the tabloids. This put a huge amount of unnecessary stress and strain on our relationship, Harry wrote. The couple lost friends as they feared those close to them were leaking information to the media, Harry alleged. Of course, now that we know that this information was invariably obtained by unlawful means, these friendships were lost entirely unnecessarily, which is a matter of huge regret for me, he said. Ultimately, these factors led Chelsea to make the decision that a royal life was not for her, which was incredibly upsetting for me at the time. Then Harry went on to slam the UK government. He said, "At the moment our country is judged globally by the state of our press and our government, both of which I believe are at rock bottom," he said in his statement. He also lashed out at the government for being scared of alienating the press and says both the government and the police are scared to hold them accountable or seek justice against them, which makes parts of the media feel above the law. The Prime Minister's official spokesperson said that the comments made by Harry were part of a live legal case and he would not be commenting.